Putin appears to be continuing his revenge wave in Ukraine, with fresh strikes targeting critical energy infrastructure. On camera, key energy facilities in the Kyiv, Sumy and Chernihiv regions appear to have been devastated in Russian attacks. Russia says it used deadly Gerbera drones to pound energy sites linked to Ukraine's military. The Russian armed forces say they struck key energy facilities used by the Ukrainian military. The targets were hit in the Kyiv, Sumy and Chernihiv regions, according to TASS on June 21. Russia's defense ministry says the strikes were carried out using Gerbera drones. Russian Ministry of Defense said, and I quote, "Gerbera drone operators from the Russian Defense Ministry's Unmanned Systems Unit struck key energy facilities used by the Ukrainian armed forces in Ukraine's Kyiv, Sumy, Chernihiv regions, as well as in the part of the DPR occupied by the Ukrainian military." Unquote. Russian forces attacked the city of Zaporizhzhia with guided aerial bombs on June 20th. The strike was one of the latest attacks reported in the ongoing conflict. According to preliminary information, Russia reportedly launched 9 glide bombs against targets in the city. Authorities said assessments were ongoing as investigators gathered additional details. Ukrainian officials said at least 5 people were killed and 11 others were injured in the attack. Emergency services were deployed to the affected areas following the strikes. The attack damaged homes, civilian infrastructure, and an equestrian sports club. Several non-military facilities were affected by the bombardment. Local authorities said 19 multi-story residential buildings sustained damage during the strike. President Volodymyr Zelensky offered condolences to the families of those who lost loved ones. He also expressed support for the injured and affected residents. Meanwhile, Russia said its forces struck a Ukrainian drone storage site near Kharkiv. Moscow described the operation as a successful military strike. Russian officials claimed that a Su-34M bomber targeted unmanned aerial vehicles and production components in Ukraine. The statement was released as part of Russia's operational update. Russia also reported carrying out attacks on Ukrainian military formations elsewhere in the Kharkiv region. Officials said multiple military targets were engaged during the operations. Ukraine stated that Russia launched 99 drones across the country during the overnight period of June 20th to 21st. Air defense units were reportedly activated in response to the attacks. At the same time, Ukraine claimed to have carried out major drone strikes against targets in Crimea. The operation was presented as part of Kyiv's ongoing long-range campaign. Ukrainian forces said 4 gas compressors and multiple military facilities were successfully hit during the strikes. Officials described the targets as important to Russian operations in the region. A bridge linking Crimea with the Kherson region was also targeted during Ukraine's operation. The crossing is considered strategically significant for transportation and logistics. Ukraine further claimed that drones struck the Tyman oil refinery, located more than 2,000 kilometers away from Crimea. President Volodymyr Zelensky praised the long-range strikes as an effective form of sanctions against Russia. He said such operations increase pressure on Moscow's military and economic infrastructure. Russian authorities, however, claimed that the Tyman refinery suffered no damage from the drone attack. Officials said the facility continued operating normally after the incident. The operation was reportedly conducted as part of Ukraine's so-called Middle Strike campaign. The effort focuses on targeting key infrastructure and military assets. Under the campaign, Ukrainian forces use mid-range drones to strike targets deep inside Russian territory. The strategy is intended to extend the battlefield beyond frontline areas. The latest strike followed what Ukraine described as its biggest ever drone assault on Moscow earlier in the week. The operation marked another escalation in the use of long-range unmanned systems. Ukraine on June 18 struck multiple targets across Russia, including a major oil refinery, according to Reuters reports on the attack. Footage showed thick columns of smoke rising above the Moscow refinery complex on June 18 following the reported drone strike. The strike marked the second attack in 2 days on the key facility located in Moscow's Kapotnya district. The scale of the attack caught many Muscovites off guard and reportedly triggered panic across social media platforms. Russia said its air defenses destroyed 555 Ukrainian drones across multiple regions during the overnight assault. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin said air defense units shot down 180 drones that were headed toward the Russian capital. Sobyanin acknowledged that several drones still reached the Moscow oil refinery despite extensive defense efforts. The Guardian reported that at least 7 drones appeared to penetrate Moscow's air defense shield during the attack. An earlier Ukrainian drone strike had reportedly shut down operations at the Moscow refinery before the latest attack. The strikes added to growing damage across Russia's energy sector caused by Kyiv's expanding long-range drone campaign. According to The Guardian, Moscow is preparing to import fuel by sea to ease shortages caused by refinery damage. Russia has unveiled the new Molniya 13 Heavy-class drone as part of efforts to expand its unmanned combat aviation capabilities. The system was presented as an upgraded successor to the earlier Molniya 2 platform, according to Sputnik. Russian sources told Sputnik the drone was designed to improve battlefield survivability and operational flexibility. Reports said the platform has already undergone testing in the Special Military Operations Zone. The drone's development reflects Russia's broader push toward heavier and more capable unmanned strike systems. Military planners have increasingly sought UAVs able to carry larger payloads while supporting diverse missions. The Molniya 13 appears intended to combine greater strike capability with improved endurance and mission versatility. Payload capacity reaches up to 13 kilograms, allowing the drone to carry heavier mission equipment or munitions. The drone cruises at approximately 120 kilometers per hour during standard operational missions. Its operational range extends up to 50 kilometers from the launch point under normal conditions. The platform uses a 4-electric motor propulsion system designed to improve stability and redundancy. Mission profiles include reconnaissance, transport tasks, and direct strike operations against designated targets. Russian developers said the new design places a strong emphasis on reliability under combat conditions. The platform was engineered to remain effective even in challenging electronic warfare environments.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.